Hello, from Russell. Welcome to Things to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional. For today's items only, Newman's Income Talk today would be 30KTH. First, I want to say happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend, by the way. It's my second postings up today. Respect to recording time of 12:10 p.m. on Eastern Time. Ethereum could trade $4,390, down about 0.59% so far. Respect to overall crypto market, as you could see on my left side of the screen, you can see that some selective coins are a little bit more, I guess, upper on the surging pressure than others. But I would say collectively speaking, if you take this on a weighted average perspective, it's still kind of relatively flat to, non-active today, for the reason of the media affectation side being, again, non-active as well. But on the selective coins, if you look into the news portals that we see collectively, I'll say in the last 4 or 5 hours so far, ever since my first posting, and also, during my first posting, I would say the news are relatively quite one-sided towards Bitcoin this morning. And across from three specific media platforms, from Bazinga, Decrypt, and Fox News, all talks about the same thing with respect to El Salvador on their latest initiative, right, around building the first Bitcoin city using the $500 million of planned $1 billion crypto bonds, right? And this is an announcement that, the president of El Salvador, his name is, and I'm going to butcher his name again, Nayib Bukele. I feel like I'm saying a different name every single time. But Mr. President NB, let's just put it that way, that he says that his country will be building a pond, using the volcanic powered, as a proposition to, propel the Bitcoin as the key form of currency for the commerce exchange going forward, right? And they named this, calling it a Bitcoin city going forward. So this is one of the first, I guess, initialization in a geopolitical perspective, and El Salvador is one of the first countries on doing so, right? And with that affectation, I foreshadow some sort of expansions of emergence across the South American region. As El Salvador sees this adoption being a core value proposition of the economy going forward, that I wouldn't be surprised that other countries will follow on in a subsequent time. In a geopolitical and per capita perspective, obviously El Salvador is not the most dominant country in the world. But with their stamp of approval, it's a relatively strong gravitas onto providing the long-term value proposition for obviously cryptocurrencies, and obviously directly for Bitcoin. And we'll see how that goes with respect to how it's going to be transforming their economical outlook, their day-to-day lives for the residents in El Salvador. But it's all great things, because this is a one step that we're also taking forward onto further adopting and integrating what is still relatively of a nascent technology or financial infrastructure into our global economy, right? So this is one of the first inning, steps that we're taking, and eventually one country is gonna follow another, contingent on, how sustainable is the proposition that El Salvador is currently adopting. So we have to watch and be observant going forward. But I am happy, and I look forward to seeing great things ahead for this country, and how it's going to be thriving with this new integrations going forward. And then the other news that is around Ethereum, I would say something that we already talked about this morning, so it's no reasons to really regurgitate, I guess. So let's just dive into the technicals real quick to see what's going on right now, right? So with respect to Ethereum, we're down 0.61% so far, while the entire market, with selective altcoin being more prone to the drag effects from obviously Bitcoin that we have heard this morning, right? So right now, Ethereum is at the 51 out of 70. We are still at the relatively bearish sentiment with no signs of reversing yet. right? Despite the reversal that we've had, obviously from the Bitcoin City news that we heard from yesterday, to rating until today, with some reinforcement today, because just some more reminding news. Maybe the news got caught on to other side of the world, to people in North American region as well, or selective regions of the world, getting picked up on the media front. So right now it's just basically contemplating: do we break below 4,000 or do we keep going up, right? And on the fact that this seems like a, again, head and shoulder pattern. This is the head, right? The 4,871, and then these are the shoulders, right? It seems like there's what's they forming, and as we form, as we descend from the current level that we at right now, that will confirm the head and shoulder pattern, right? And with that being said, that means more sell-off is coming, right? Technically, this will be the level between the two shoulders, right? This is like the clavicle bone, if you know human anatomy. And as we pass that, these are like the biceps, the, your arms, basically, like around these, like basically you foresee this, like if you look at the human body, like the guy's like basically spreading his arms out or on the side, kind of adjacent, with like a 45 degrees on the descending angles for respective sides of the limbs. So that will technically reach to the 3,850 as the next level, to 3,475 as the next level, if we break the 3,845 as the next logical level, right? Which we try to get to, but we got bought up because we broke that 4,000, which is a core resistance level, right? But again, not a real substantive level. It's more of like a psychological flat number, like I keep mentioning, right? So something to watch out for. I do see some sell-off coming because we are at the upper echelon of being overbought. We're kind of neutral. We're not like not terribly overbought, not at the 70, but we're still at the 51. So logically speaking, for us to re-incentivize the rally to sustain going forward, we need to come back down for us to recuperate, to sustain the rally going forward, like I keep saying, right? With respect to Bitcoin, we're up about 0.10%, 45 out of 70, so kind of comparable to Ethereum. Head and shoulder is less prominent than Ethereum, but I think we have to watch because the Bitcoin's pattern is not as obvious as the Ethereum pattern that we're seeing right now. But in the risk management perspective, I think ideally, right, the 52 to the 48 is still the frames that I would ideally dollar cost average at, or incur more risk at the moment. Dogecoin right now is still kind of in a bearish state with no signs of reversing yet. So ideally buy at somewhere around, like, again, right, the 23, which is current level, is fine, not terrible. 23 to 20 cents or 1950 would be much more logical for here. With respect to Cardano, it's not a bad setup right now with the 41 out of 70, and I think right now we're basically contemplating, do we break down to the 170 again to try to test this little green candle that we've had here. But if we break that 170 again, knowing the fact this is kind of like a falling down, like a descending wedge, which is a good thing because this is a bullish pattern. So out of all charts right now, I think Cardano is the best setup right now. But however, if we break it, right, break 170, we're gonna go down to 145, like I keep saying, right? Solana right now, again, 133 to 113 would be much more logical based on the current setup. We still over kind of in a neutral level, so it's not the best in terms of incurring risk at the moment. XRP is contemplating, do we go 110 or do we go to 101, right? I think 105 is the best moderate level of risk management. So 105 to 110 would be the frame of reference for us to dollar cost average at. Polkadots right now, I think ideally, again, right, because of the fact that we're still at the 43, we are showing just straight up bearish level of momentum right now. I think ideally at the 33 all the way to 25 would be much more logical to dollar cost average at. ALGORAND is at 4% right now, with the 50 out of 70. So you know what that means. We're still at the neutral level. It's not the best, not the worst either, but again, like 160 to 152 is still the dip. And I know some of my friends here have told me that you guys bought at the dip, right? Which is great. That was the logical move for us to incur risk, and that's exactly why we are up right now if you bought at the 160 to 150 level. Shiba Inu again, right? This is still not the best setup right now. We're still at the 50, so we're gonna keep seeing more of like a escalated downward slide off to the 2750 as the first level. I think that could be a good level to dollar cost average to the 900 from here. So that means Shiba Inu technically have some room to fall down to. The current level right now is just levitating. We are basically sustaining because we have this mini green candle being a support, but that's it, really. So not the best setup, you know what I'm trying to say? And we still kind of overbought, not overbought, like at the upper echelon of the neutral level. So it's not the best, not the worst. So I'll probably just watch Shiba Inu and not really incurring risk at the moment. In respect to risk management level, these are the levels we have identified so far, right? No changes throughout the charts here. And these are the levels as we deplete to the RSI below 35, as we deplete back to the golden cross, preliminary golden cross before we have that complete confirmation of the golden cross, right? And these are the levels identified that makes sense for me personally, based on my personal conservatism, right? So really appreciate you for dropping by again. I'm gonna head out to the city. I have a lot of errands to do. I have to like get my glasses tweaked. My lens is actually scratched, so I have another pair of glasses I need to get fixed. So I need to go to an eyeglasses store. I need to return something in the city as well. I also need to do some grocery shopping in Chinatown, which I need to pick up something specific. What else do I need to do? I think that's pretty much it. Maybe do a little bit of shopping here and there if I see something I like. Cause like, winter is here. I probably need to probably get some boots or some turtleneck sweater or something like that. That I'm still looking for like a gray cashmere sweater that I don't have in my wardrobe yet. I'm still looking for that one piece, but there are some like hit or miss type of items that I've seen online so far, but like I really need to try it on for me to like invest in it. So anyways, that's kind of off topic now, but I'll let you guys know how it goes today. It's definitely nice weather. It's the kind of not too cold, not too warm, just cool and not wet, which is something that I tend to stay away from. The wet and cold and dry black ice type of days in New York is definitely the most brutal out of all times in winter in New York, right? I really appreciate you. I hope you guys have a great weekend, a great Sunday as well. Stay safe and stay healthy. I feel like I'm actually getting a little bit better now from days before. I think the herbal medicine that my dad has been giving me is actually working. My mom actually woke me up this morning to like, hey, Maurice, drink this. I was like, what the? You were like waking me up in like for no reason when I'm trying to sleep in for me to drink this whole bowl of medicine. But somehow I'm feeling better. So it is something magical going on with the herbal medicine. So it is really bitter though. So yeah. Anyways, really appreciate you and stay tuned for Scrub. Take care.